Batocera version 39 was recently released. Let me show you how to get started with the install. Okay, so there are 3 links down in the description. We're going to start with Balena Etcher. You just come to the website, download Etcher, install it onto your computer. Then we're going to go to the Batocera page, click Get Batocera Linux, and you want to tailor this depending on what hardware you're going to be using. For us, we're using the Intel NUC, so that's exactly what we're going to click. And the final piece you'll need to download is from this site. You just come here, click download. You probably have to wait a little while before it'll give you access. And that is all for downloads. Well, not exactly. We downloaded the 38 pack. Version 39 handles the PS2 Bios slightly differently, so we need to grab that one ourselves. You go to this link in the description, grab either the torrent or the zip file. So now that we have those downloaded, we've installed Balena Etcher. We're going to grab Batocera and the BIOS, and I'm going to transfer them to a different location just for cleanliness. Once here, you can select both of those, right click, 7-zip, and extract here. Now that we have both of those extracted, select, delete those. Once you have that file downloaded, put it into the folder with the rest of your files for Batocera. I recommend creating a new folder here. And we'll label this new PS2 Bios. Then we're gonna move the zip file into there and extract inside of this folder. This is why we put it in its own folder. It's gonna give you all these different BIOS for multiple different regions. This web page breaks down exactly how to read the BIOS to determine which version you need for your region. I'm going to assume most of my viewers are doing this from the States, so that's the one we're going to go with. Scroll all the way to the bottom and look for PS2 0230 Alpha. This is the only one that we need. So we're going to right click, copy, back inside of this folder we're going to paste. Oh, paste, not a shortcut. Now we can delete that whole folder. We don't need any of those other BIOS. And now we can open up Balena Etcher. Now you want to verify you know the drive letter and name of the drive that you want to use. In my case, I'm going to be using a 500 GB NVMe SSD. If you're using a hard drive, SSD, flash drive, this is all going to play out the exact same. Make sure you select the right drive at this step or you will erase everything on your drive. So for me, we're going to use me I. We're going to hit flash from file. We're going to navigate to the location we saved Batocera in. You're going to select the Batocera image, hit open. Now that that's selected, we're going to select our target. This is going to be the disk. In our case, we do want drive I, Saber USB device. It's going to give you a notification because it's a large drive. If you're using something this size, we're just going to select that one and we're going to select flash. It's going to give you a final warning, and yes, I'm sure. It greets the pop-up if one does occur on your system, and then you just wait. So once Etcher is done, you can go ahead and exit out of it, but before you get out of your PC, go ahead and copy the full pack BIOS into an external flash drive to transfer over to the PC you want to have Batocera on. Once you've got that copied onto a flash drive, Batocera has been installed by Etcher. You can close everything down and move over to the PC. So obviously I already have a mini PC with Batocera installed on this drive. So we're just going to swap that out for the new drive that we just created using this external enclosure. Screw everything back down. When you're doing this, it is very useful to have a wireless mouse keyboard combo, something like this, or a full-size mouse and keyboard combo that runs off of a single dongle like the one I have here. You get them pretty cheap on Amazon, like 15-20 bucks. Also some type of controller. I'm using this Xbox Series controller. I finally 3D printed a backside to this. I haven't used it in like a year and a half because I haven't had the back plate for it. So I finally made one. That's what we're going to be using in this video. I'll show you how to get that connected and do a few other basic things once we get in here. Now it's installed, I'll catch you back in Batocera. Now that we're in Batocera, one of the first things we need to do is to make a connection with the controller using a USB cable. Once we have our controller connected, your button layout is most likely going to be incorrect. We'll get back to that. First, find a way to open the main menu. It should be start, maybe select, whatever works for your specific controller. Once the main menu is open, we're going to go down to network settings, and you're going to go to enable Wi-Fi. Mine's already enabled. I just need to select the Wi-Fi SSID and my key, input that information. I'm not going to be doing that on camera for obvious reasons, but I will be back when that's complete. Once you've completed that properly, you'll see the message Wi-Fi enabled. Just hit OK. Escape to get out of here. And anytime you make any changes in Batocera, always hit F4. Give it a quick restart. Okay, now we can get to the controller situation. What you need to do is pull out the main menu again. You'll probably have to do this mouse and keyboard. Navigate down to controller and Bluetooth settings, controller mapping, hit OK, and then hold a button on your controller. Then follow the on-screen prompts. So A, B, Y, X, start, select, up, down, left, right, etc. In the hotkey, I always use the console button or the home button. Click OK. Now that your controller is mapped properly, you can do most of the navigation from here. Now that that's complete, we're going to insert our USB drive that contains the BIOS files from earlier. Hit F1 again. Back inside of here, you should see your drive. Navigate to the folder, the BIOS pack, and you're going to copy BIOS, ROMs, save, and system. Go back into share, and we're going to right click and paste. Yes, you want to overwrite. Back inside Batocera, you want to go to BIOS, PS2, and paste that one file right here. That is all you have to do. And once that install is complete, you can hit Control Q to exit out of the menu. Hit F4 to refresh Batocera. If you want to make your controller wireless, it's very simple to do. Hit the start button to bring up the main menu. Navigate down to controller and Bluetooth settings. Pair a Bluetooth device manually. You want to put your controller into pairing mode. Once it pops up, select it. And like that, our controller is good to go. We've now got it wireless. The buttons are laid out properly. We've got our BIOS. Next, all we have to really do is install ROMs and you're good to play. However, if you want a couple additional tips, I can show you some things. If you pull up the main menu, go down to updates and downloads, go to themes. You can see all the themes that are currently available. There are a lot to choose from. There's one that kind of simulates an Xbox environment. There's some that simulate a PlayStation 3 environment, like Fake XMB. Neon Blast is a good one if you like to have more of just an arcade type experience. One of my favorite ones currently is Alec Full-NX. It's right up near the top. If you find one you want, just select it, select install. Batocera does the rest for you. Once that's installed, you can make your way into user interface settings, select it, select your new theme, back out of the menu, and everything will be updated. Now that we've got Batocera up and running the way we want it, in the next video I'll show you guys how to install ROMs for different types of consoles, make a few adjustments if we need to, and test out the horsepower on this little mini PC.